Hey guys, Scott here. Today I want to talk about one of the most obnoxious builds in the entire game right now. This is for January 2023. There's been a whole series of really obnoxious things in Dead by Daylight, but I'm talking about the one that's currently happening. So if you're watching the future, yes, I understand the Freddy Fazbear double side camp is way worse, but currently right now, this is what we've got. So it's the whole Condemn Sadako playstyle. You might have been unfortunate enough to play against this once or twice. It's not super common, so I don't even consider it a widespread problem. So I don't even think anything needs to be done about it. I just wanted to talk about just why it is so incredibly obnoxious to go against. So if you're unaware what this playstyle is, basically the Sadako will forego the normal gameplay of Dead by Daylight and just try to condemn kill people. That's all they will do. If you're unaware what the condemn mechanic is, whenever Sadako teleports to a TV, if you are next to a TV, then you gain a condemn stack. If you gain 7 condemn stacks over the course of the match, she can instantly kill you on the ground regardless of the amount of times you've been hooked. It's an instant mori. And that can be pretty detrimental considering you're just dead after that. So the problem is you don't really have to worry about that in a standard match with Sadako. You don't gain condemn stacks faster than the game takes to complete. So yeah, you might have 5 or 6 as you run out the exit gate in Teabagger. And so it's not really that big of a deal. Every once in a while, you'll have to take the videotape out of one and deliver it to another. That's how you remove a bunch of stacks. And so every once in a while, you will have to do that. But it's sort of it's not meant to intentionally kill you, just like pig traps are not really meant to kill you. It's meant to give a killer who has relatively weak chase a lot more time in the match because there's a new side objective that survivors have to worry about. And that's what the whole condemn mechanic is. So the whole condemn playstyle is you only do that. And the problem is that means you're not really playing DBD, which means every survivor you're going against is absolutely miserable. And in order to do this, one add-on is crucial. It's the ring drawing add-on. What this add-on does is make it so whenever you heal a survivor, whenever you heal a teammate, you gain a condemn stack. And what is that combo very well with? Slugging. If you slug, you have to pick them off the ground, which is a stack. And if you want to heal them to full, that's another stack. So you have 2 stacks just from picking someone off the ground. And so you combine that with, 3 slowdowns, sloppy butcher, and stuff like that. And now you're in a scenario where the Sadako is just hitting and running and slugging over and over and over until you're nearly bled out. And this makes Sadako matches that play in this style easily go 30 to 40 minutes long. And it's an incredibly long and drawn out thing because you're put in this really awkward scenario where if someone is slugged, your options are just let them bleed out and then they just die, which obviously is not a good option, or pick them up, which is going to spread the condemn to you. And now you're both injured and she can just slug you both again. It's a hit and run style. She will never, ever chase you. It's always going to be a stealth ambush hit. So there's no actual chase mechanics anytime you're going against this, which is another reason it's so incredibly boring. So she's just going to hit and run, go back and forth, hit and run. She's going to stack a bunch of slowdowns, control a 3-gen from the very start of the match. Going to be Call of Brian Eruption and some other slowdown. So she's probably just going to ignore 4 gens and just let you do them. You might get down to 1 generator left with not a single hook or even person slugged on the ground or anything. That doesn't matter to people that play like this because all they need is that 3-gen and the hit and run strat. Eventually, with War of Attrition, you will be whittled down to the point where everyone is high in condemn stacks. No one can actually get to a condemn thing because very good Sadakos that do this know who's about to be fully condemned and will not let them use a tape. Or they'll teleport directly to the TV that they're about to use, and they might have saved the best for last. So even if you're healthy, they can hit you and then hit you again before you can put the tape in, basically leaving you with absolutely 0 options. Now, if you are in a 4-man Survive with Friends comp squad, this is counterable. Obviously, this is not a foolproof thing. You can do it. But if you play solo queue like me and the majority of the player base, this is nearly unbeatable. You pretty much can't do anything because it requires so much coordination to combat that you're just going to be in for an absolutely miserable time. I just 2 weeks ago, I had a game with Zubat where we had a 40-minute game against a Sadako, and 2 of us still died. And it was the most long, drawn out, we both just wanted to stop streaming after that because it is just such an obnoxious playstyle to go against because you're not playing anything. You're just sitting on a gen, she walks up to you, slaps you off of it, and then just leaves. Well, she'll probably kick the gen with Call of Brian Eruption first, and then she just leaves. And so your options are get healed from someone if you don't have a med kit, and then they get penalized because now they're going to be injured. And if you don't heal and keep working on the gen, she will eventually come back and slug you. Now you need 2 stacks of condemn in order to get you back up to healthy. And if you don't, then you're just going to get down more, which means you get slugged more, which means people get more condemn. And it's just a never-ending loop of no one playing the game except the Sadako. And so every survivor going against this is just absolutely miserable. And that's why it's so bad. The thing is, the only way this entire build is possible is because of the ring drawing add-on. the add-on that makes you spread Condemn when you heal people. Because of that, it enables slugging to be so incredibly strong with this playstyle, which results in everyone nearly bleeding out due to slugging for, 20, 30 minutes on and off. And if that add-on was simply changed, this whole playstyle, I think, just goes away. Here's the kicker, though. And here's why I feel kind of bad. Without this playstyle, Sadako sort of sucks ass. She's a pretty bad killer. If you don't have that type of playstyle as an option, you just have like the worst Wraith. It's Wraith without the movement speed or the lunge out of invisibility. The teleporting is nice, but it's not really going to ever give you a down because it's very loud and telegraphed and you know where it's coming from. Yeah, you'll get your Condemn stack, but in a normal match, it's not really going to matter. You're not going to be able to get enough stacks. So it's really just the ring drawing add-on that makes all of this possible. But a part of me is like, well, it needs to be possible because she's so dog shit without it. And so what I would love to see is that add-on removed just entirely because it incentivizes everything. It's the catalyst for the whole slugging hit and run. No one's playing the game playstyle. And just buff her chase. Like, make her actually good in a chase somehow. There's a lot of suggestions I've seen. She has base add-ons that make you phase in and out for a longer amount of time after you manifest. And I think having that kind of stuff base kit so she's a lot harder to track when she's uncloaking and stuff like that, that would make it a lot better. Give her something unique that's not Wraith's, lunge. Don't give her movement speed out of invisibility. Give her something that, relates to her identity as a killer, but just give her something so her chase is actually good. Because as I'm sitting there, slugged on the ground for the entire game, 40 minutes later, my kids are getting old and everything, I'm still at the back of my mind going, well, if she didn't do this, she would be losing. So it puts you in such an awkward scenario where I'm not going to be entitled and go like, well, why won't you just lose for us and play in a shittier way? So if that option is available to people, I understand why they do it, but fuck if it is not the worst thing in the game to go against right now. If you don't think it's the worst thing in the game to go against, I promise you haven't gone against a good player going against this. I'm at the point where if I encounter one Pump Willie in the wild, I don't even play. I just give up. He's a super nice dude. I've gone to a stream. He's a super nice guy. I love watching his videos and stuff. But holy fuck, it is the worst thing ever to go against. I actually refuse to play against it because I'm solo queue. Again, if I was in a 4-man, I would give it the old college try. But if you're just in solo queue, you're never going to beat it. It's impossible to have that much coordination. So again, against the good Sadako doing that. If I've gone against people trying that and not doing it super well, they don't know how to pinpoint the people that are starting to get condemned, and you can tell they're a bit weaker at it, and that you can beat. But a good player using this strategy is just the most obnoxious thing on the planet. And I think in order to fix that, ring drawing needs to be nerfed or deleted, but Sadako needs to be given heavy chase buffs to compensate for that, because I want her to actually be able to down people without relying on such an incredibly unfun strat. So I'd love to hear what suggestions you guys have for Sadako to give her buffs, because I don't play her much. I don't have like a good opinion of what to give her that would make her stronger in a chase. I would just love to see that somehow. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I don't know if they'll be heard by the people that need to hear them, but it'll be a good discussion. That's about it. Thanks for watching. See ya.